Cowboys. It is the foundation. Just want to come at you with my preseason thoughts video. Overall, I was pleasantly pleased with it. I wasn't overly excited, but I was satisfied. With the game, because like the first half. The first half was a good first half, and then the second half mistakes cost us. At the end of the first half and the second half kind of cost us mistakes. Like I'll talk about that right now. The most disappointing thing was all those penalties and mental errors that we had. From the first half, anybody remembers that Romo against the Cardinals preseason game, the 3rd and 50. That sticks out in your mind, and they almost rivaled it. But that one you can take positive things out of it. Yes, Dak gotta be more aware of the clock. But the thing I love is the one that Swaim got called for. That's Swaim. First preseason game, he kind of go Swaim. Show that urgency. Get up to the line. Get set. But you gotta love Dak's aggression and his recognition. I mean, he saw that the defense wasn't set. He saw that they was misaligned, and he wanted to go. He wanted to come on, let's go. And it was too bad that didn't play, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk about it anyway. They're gonna say like, good recognition, kid. And then in the second half, we had them pinned deep, and the problem was that they got a defensive call. So continue to drive. And then right after that, I don't know what happened. Somebody can let me know what happened. I don't know what happened. I just saw that they punt the ball. And then they was talking to Jerry Jones. They never show no replay. All I know is that the Rams got the ball back. So I was like, oh, what happened? So again, another mental error on their part. So, that's things that gotta get cleaned up. Charles Geen, I've seen that he's been getting killed. I'm not gonna kill the kid. It's basically his rookie year, but at the same time too, it's like I'm not gonna say that if they can bring in anybody that's better than him or compete and earn it over him, then by all means do it. And then put him on the practice squad, let him develop a little bit more. I saw him do some decent things, and then they get sloppy, they get inconsistent. Or that saying that how good that kid, the junior CL kid could be. And the Rams are pretty good at the defensive line, so if he's the odd man out, hey, like David Irving. So Scout's eye. Darius Jackson, I saw that he was getting not so much good reviews. His two things was the getting out of his meal ticket to the team is special teams, and Rich Versace is not gonna like that he took the ball out way too deep and he dropped the ball. So he ran decent. There was a couple plays the offensive line that didn't block. They allowed way too fast the penetration, and but he had a good running game. He had a good running for the game. Wilcox now, on the other hand, that's what's kind of bad, is that the Rams went at him, so, it's either that he's better step up, or, Kayvon Frazier, the job could be us, or Frey, or, one of you guys, take it, because Wilcox is slowly getting on that bubble. Yeah, so, and then, the two guys that I was kind of hoping that they would show up, ended up not, was Swaim and Andy Jones. Swaim, it's cleanable. That one was cleanable. He ran twice without the ball. He was trying to run it before he caught it. So, I didn't, I was like, slow down a little bit, relax. Andy Jones, the second one, we seen the catch those high competitive, miraculous catches. Needs to carry to the game. That first one, that one kind of made me mad because he was wide open on that post route, and for being a big kid, you never know if how far he would have taken it down. So, so that's one thing. that's pretty much it on the disappointing side. I mean, the defensive line. You know, I hear people kind of like going, "Oh, we gotta make moves. We gotta make moves." We gotta remember that these guys have been playing. You know, with all the guys that was out. You know, Lawrence taking rest, Gregory not there, Tyrone Crawford been in. I mean, has never even practiced until the week of. Thornton has been in and out. Ryan Russell's even out. You know, so you know you only had like 5-6 guys to work with. Of course, these guys. You know, I mean, I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm not surprised that they got fatigue. You know. So, but again, if they see moves, I'm not gonna argue. They make moves, and these guys earn it over these other guys. Then, yeah, I'm all for it. Now to the positive sides. You know, first of all, on the defensive side, you know, I'm gonna give Russell a little bit. Russell had some good penetration. Then he gets killed because he missed that one tackle. Yeah, but he got penetration. I mean, you know, when he finished the play, simple as that. If he finishes the play, we all cheering him. Okune, oh, that boy was doing good. King was doing good. But my guy Nzacha, I was like, he was sideline to sideline. He was bumping, and you know, he was thumping, and he was moving. So I was pleasant. I like how I was seeing out of him. Anthony Brown, solid. Frazier, you know, did some good things. Not gonna go crazy. Who else? I mean, and you know, one thing I can say is like I love the way. I'm not love, but I like the way they were timing their blitzes. I mean, you know, whether it be the offense not recognizing it or just the way they had perfect timing, the way the defensive line and the linebacker or the cornerback, you know, dictated the matchups, you know, and like the interception of Okune, boom, you know, he got him like that, so that was good. Olatoye, gotta love his aggression. He jumped one ball, he almost got him, and then he got another one. I hope he doesn't make it a habit of sitting on too many routes, because he's gonna beg for double moves, like how in the T. Wills touchdown, the guy was sitting on his route, you know. But anyway, having said that, that was the positives out of that. Then Lucky Whitehead, you know, that's one thing I really want to see is special teams be like how it was, you know, being that threat, igniting the defense and taking the pressure off the offense. You know, the offense gonna need any kind of help they can get. I would like to see more on punt returns just to dictate the field position on them. And you know, so you know that jet sweep is really good. Showers, you know, he had that one magnificent play, and he was ripping that ball. You know, you gotta love the way he was confident in his throws. You know, I mean, he missed some. Couple guys dropped it, but you know, you gotta see that. You like seeing that aggression. You know, that's all good. That's always good to see that. And finally, you know, oh yeah, Alfred Morris, very solid guy. So all good. Making the depth stronger. That's what I like. And then finally, Dak Prescott. Before anybody goes, "Oh, you're gonna do?" No. I was pleasantly surprised. I love the way he had the command of the huddle. I love his recognition and I love his poise. You know, for first time out there, being in the Rams, welcome back home. Being against the #1 overall pick, so you know, and then having the pressure, you know, Cowboys need a backup quarterback. He took on that challenge and he showed something, you know. He has to have it continue. He has to build on this, you know. But I love this. I love that. He let Dez make the plays on the ball. He didn't like, oh, I'm gonna try and get Dez like this. No, he knows that Dez is a playmaker. So he just says, okay, I'm gonna do this for Dez, destroy it in his area, and let him go get it. But the play to Beasley, the one he came up, that was a good one. The one to Butler, that was a good one. The most surprising pass was the one to T-Will. I never expected him to dime him like that. I was like, wow. But anyway, that was a good play. So yeah, you gotta love that recognition, that poise and that aggression. Not gonna knock that. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the video. Football's back. All right, Doniola boys, go Cowboys.